Sounds of gunfire ring out through a crowded metropolitan square. A home video camera focuses in on a tourist bus that is catching fire. Frightened bystanders run for cover as the bus bursts into flames. This crisis is unfolding in one of the world's most popular tourist destinations. But none of these visitors would ever have dreamed that their trip to Egypt would end this way. Land of ancient pyramids and the enigmatic Sphinx, Egypt has drawn visitors since 450 BC, when its very first tourists were documented. German tourist Gudrun Happer and her husband Michael are visiting Egypt for the second time.
When we came here on our first visit in 1996, it was so full of life. There are so many wonderful people here.
On this visit, Gudrun and Michael are touring Cairo with 32 other German visitors. Their trip has been made especially enjoyable by their bus driver, Ramadan Afifi. Gudrun and Michael board the bus in busy Tahrir Square, but just as Ramadan is about to pull away, Gudrun sees two strange men come running toward the bus. One man tries to get on, but Ramadan, the driver, tries to stop him. The two men struggle, but then the man pulls a gun and shoots Ramadan. He then opens fire on Gudrun, Michael, and the rest of the tourists. The gunshots ring out through Tahrir Square. Black smoke starts pouring out of the bus. The attacker hurls Molotov cocktails filled with gasoline into the bus. Outside, the second attacker throws more firebombs under the vehicle. The bus is rapidly filling up with smoke. One passenger jumps out of the emergency exit to escape the fire. Egyptian police tackle the two attackers and drag them away. Gudrun gropes her way to the back of the smoke-filled bus. She manages to find the emergency exit and escapes the fire. Gudrun is rushed into the hospital with other injured passengers. There she learns the terrible news. Her husband Michael, along with 8 other German visitors and the driver Ramadan, have perished in the fire.
I didn't know where Michael was, but I thought he was okay. When I found out he died, I couldn't believe it.
The entire Egyptian nation is horrified and appalled by the cruel attack.
It was a great shock for the Egyptian people to hear about this incident because of Egypt's long history of hospitality, of hosting and protecting and entertaining tourists and visitors.
Dr. Yahya Kader is a director of the Egyptian Tourist Authority. He says the investigation into the incident took very little time because the two attackers confessed. It was learned that the gunman, Sabr Farhat, had already been sentenced to life imprisonment for previously killing 5 tourists in a Cairo hotel. Considered insane, he had been incarcerated in a mental hospital.
The investigation revealed that Sabr was bribing the nurses, so they let him go and spend some nights at home to visit his wife and his family.
During one of these outings, Sabr had convinced his brother Mahmoud to help him attack the bus.
Sabr and his brother, both of them, they were sentenced to death by hanging by the military court that was investigating the incident of Tahrir Square.
The bus driver, Ramadan Afifi, was honored as a hero for trying to save the tourists' lives. This attack was not an isolated incident. Security for tourists is an ongoing challenge for Egyptian authorities. Because of this, armed police now accompany tour groups wherever they go. 1 year later, Gudrun Happer makes the difficult return to Tahrir Square and lays flowers upon the ground a few feet from where her husband Michael was killed. But Gudrun has also remembered the bus driver, Ramadan Afifi. She discovered that Ramadan had left behind a wife and 7 children, and so she raised a sum equal to $8,000 for them.
I wanted to do something to show the Egyptians that I don't hate them. The attack was terrible, but I don't feel hate because everyone there was so helpful to me.
After being so welcomed by Ramadan's family, Gudrun knows that she will never relinquish her love of Egypt and its people. Gudrun Hapa experienced the most challenging moments of her life in Cairo, but her inspirational return to Egypt reveals the potential people have to rise above tragedy and consider those whose needs may be greater than their own.